Hey review family, I'm keeping it high, I'm keeping it tight, it's Jay Morris the Review Guy, and I'm back again to bring you another video. Welcome back to my series Track Review, the series in which I review tracks. In this one we got a doozy, we got a big fat juicy meatball in the sky ready to just knock it out of the park with Cattle Decapitation's new track, One Day Closer to the End of the World. Yeah, that's not that accurate. Hey, Cowboy Jay Morris. Yeah, what's up, Beanie Jay Morris? Say it like Travis Ryan would say it. Sure there, partner.
One day closer to the end of the world.
Well, you heard the man. This is the first track that is dropped in anticipation for Cattle Decapitation's brand new studio-length album, Death Atlas, that is going to be dropping Black Friday 2019 on Metal Blade Records, which they've been releasing stuff on for a while now. Let's be honest, Cattle Decapitation has built up the repertoire of one of the most critically acclaimed and consistent bands of this very niche genre that they have carved out for themselves in the Deathgrind subgenre, the technical death metal subgenre, just the grindcore subgenre, the brutal death metal subgenre, labels. Just for a little bit of background though, for those that don't happen to know much about them, they started off as a fairly cut and dry gore grind band that was quite one-dimensional, fit squarely into the mold, and weren't really doing anything that was setting themselves apart. Not to say they hadn't built up a nice underground following and underground fan base that really were enjoying their releases, which had pretty much been following them since their 1996 demo 10 Torments of the Damned, which was more power violence than anything. One of the things that sets Cattle Decapitation apart, which is a little bit contradicting with their name, which it's supposed to be, is the fact they talk about environmentalism, about veganism, general misanthropy, pollution, that type of thing. Literally topics that range everywhere from talking about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch to mistreatment of animals to veganism in general to misanthropy towards the human race due to some of our stupid mistakes. Oh, there's a ladybug on my camera. Look at him. I know, how metal of me. Anyways, it was their 2006 record Karma.Bloody.Karma where they started experimenting more with dynamics, interesting melodies, interesting chord progressions, a little bit more vocal dynamics coming out of Travis Ryan, one of extreme metal's, without a doubt, best vocalist. Their 2009 record, The Harvest Floor, found them going into more abstract territory, even more incorporating these devilish melodies with the guitar work, some really jilted bass work, Travis Ryan incorporating some very strange vocal work into his already charismatic repertoire. 2012's Monolith of Inhumanity, by many, is considered to be their best record, and with a good reason. Once again, they kept doing melodies, they kept experimenting with different melodies, different progressions, things like that, but it was mostly the fact that Travis Ryan was doing this weird cave troll singing, this raspy, growling singing that was so bone-chilling, it was so shivering to the bone. Just the way he came across with his frigid delivery made your blood jump in your veins. Maybe out of your veins. And then of course you have the Anthropocene Extinction, their previous record. A lot of people think this topped Monolith of Inhumanity. I'm one of those people. I think it is a fantastic fucking Deathgrind record with so much dynamic performances, and it really goes to show why Cattle Decapitation has achieved success pretty much like no other band in the genre. This record debuted at like 100 on the Billboard Top 200s, which is insane for a record like this. There have been some death metal albums, some metalcore albums, some black metal albums that have debuted there, but nothing this extreme. And clean cut, One Day Closer to the End of the World is Cattle Decapitation a lot of times by the numbers. You get Travis Ryan's usual vocals that you get his kind of high-pitched but still raspy and growled shrieks that like on the chorus, he goes more into that singing, that raspy singing, that cave troll singing that was featured on Monolith and on Anthropocene Extinction. Sounds just as chilling as ever, especially when they speed it up to almost this massive black metal crescendo with how fast the blast beats go, and how just completely despondently eerie those guitar tones are. By all means, from how punchy the production is, how mechanical everything goes, how it just rolls along with fluid cohesion and so destructive, and how masterful it's performed. The project so far sounds very normal until you get to the latter half, where it reaches this devilish cinematic plateau, where at this peak, Travis takes his singing to a whole nother level with just, it sounds so exasperated, it sounds like he's truly living through hellfire there as he's singing, and you even get this kind of really ominous singing that he layers up for about, I think, 5 to 10 seconds where it's very low in the throat with the singing. Maybe even sounds like it might have a little bit of an effect on it. And with how Travis Ryan is saying this album is going to deal with some more deep topics than pretty much ever, it almost makes me wonder if Cattle Decapitation is going to make this very cinematic thing the evolution on this record, because up until this point, they've never given us a reason to not think they were going to experiment and do something different on every single record, but never lose their original sound. By all means, this is Cattle Decapitation at their finest, well orchestrated, well performed, all of that good stuff, well assembled, pretty much very technical as ever. It's just that cinematic feel that just leaves me shivering near the latter half. If there is only one thing that maybe is just a tiny bit weird about this track is I don't think the kind of, when it flows into that chorus from the verses, I don't think it flows as smoothly as a lot of the choruses and some of the bridges and verses worked on Anthropocene Extinction or Monolith of Inhumanity. It just seems very abrupt. It just feels like they're doing it, verse, chorus, with absolutely really no build-up, no hint towards it in the chord progression, no hint to it in the guitar work. It just kind of blasts you full force right into the chorus without much in the way of warning, much in the way of any logical, cohesive build-up, but I'm going to give it a pass from how heavy and brutal it is. Cattle Decapitation remain to be at the top of their game, being, in my opinion, one of the most consistently great Deathgrind bands with thoughtful lyricism, very poignant and mind-invoking lyricism, some fantastic performances. Travis Ryan, obviously one of the best extreme metal vocalists you're going to find. I'm going to post the song in the description box below, so go listen to it, come back, give me your thoughts. And stay for the end screen because I'll link some videos that you might be interested in as usual. Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel. I will be covering the record when it comes out, obviously. Smash the notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. My name is Jay Morris, the Review Guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.